Okay. Whoa. Hello. Hey, DJ Lundy from Cincinnati. Hi. Trying to do a show with some people, and they'll be in touch with me in a second. So, uh, this is the first thing from home. I was, as you know, out for a second, but I'm back. StreamYard's giving me hell. I don't know what's going on. When they got new management, all of a sudden it doesn't work and doesn't come on. And I'm gonna have to like call them and say, what is your damn problem? Okay, here goes the call. Okay,
Right, sir. Can you hear me all right?
I hear you fine, and let me make certain I have things turned all the way up.
I'm going to patch into the board. I'll be right with you. One second,
Okay,
please.
okay. Hmm.
All right, Randy, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, good. Yes, sir. I appreciate you filling in today for us.
Okay, well, it's been a while. Has it been 5 years? It's been.
It's a good possibility. I've been working with Power Hour for the last three, and I don't recall having you on before.
Mm-mm.
So
No.
it was definitely before my time.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. So it's been a minute, but we're gonna have
yeah.
some fun today. Get ready for
Well, that's what Catherine said. Catherine said
politically
you're a great guest host.
incorrect. We're gonna be as bad as we can be and as American as we can be. And um, if I just imagine anything I do is causing Kamala Harris a black eye. Depends on what you hit her eye with. She may like it, but well, we anyway. Let's be good at least for the first 2 3 minutes. We'll try to be good.
Sure. You're right. Okay. Good.
So,
We've got 2 minutes. Now, what I'll do, if we get, are you going to take callers or not?
yeah, I think she wants me to do callers after the first half hour. Ask her,
Okay.
and because I want to talk about the no good crooked Boule. This is something
Okay.
that too few Americans know about. People know about the Costa Nostra and so forth, but they don't know about the Boule. And these are like black political gangsters. Um, they're the
Right.
force behind. They're part of the force behind Kamala. They're part of a lot of the confusion in the country. They're a significant reason
Right.
why you don't see any progress in black
Right.
communities. So anyway,
All right. Just to give you a heads up, if you're on speakerphone, it is a little bit harder to hear you than it was on the other line that I called you on.
I had you on speaker
Um,
on that too. I love speaker, but I
okay.
can take it
All right.
off of
As long
speaker.
as you're talking like okay now, if you're talking like you are right now, yeah, it's not too bad now. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe you're just looking away from it or something. So, and then yeah, what we'll do is when you want to open the lines, just let me know at the break.
Okay,
we
and
break at 28 after.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to the top of the hour break at 55.
Okay. And what do they typically do? Do news for the first half hour and then the rest they do a talk? I just want to make
Yeah,
certain.
pretty much.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
we can run
Really
through current.
what you want to do.
Okay.
Whatever you want to do.
Okay, well, we can run through some of the current events. I'll go through them very quickly. And just glance,
All right,
and then
we'll stand by. Here we go.
Okay.
The content of this program is meant for education.
Now, also, just to give you a heads up, what I'll do is I will fade out the music and then you can jump in, okay?
Okay.
Right, not necessarily reflect the views of this station, its management, staff, or its advertisers.
Hello and good morning. Welcome to the Power Hour. And I am your stand-in host flying by the seat of the pants. I'm DrRandyShort out of Washington, D.C. And I'm making a call out to everybody that likes the unborn, everybody that loves America, everybody that likes borders, everybody that likes affordable food, gas, and housing, everybody that cares about vets, everybody that loves America, everybody that thinks Kamala Harris would the worst choice for a virtue teacher for a virginity class. We want your participation today on the Power Hour because we're going to do news and events, and then we're going to talk about the awful, ugly Boule conspiracy. We're going to teach you about the no good, un-American, anti-black, black bigot mafia that's been attacking Trump, black America, and all of our freedoms. And they're trying to get this grifty Indian to be passed off as a down the way ghetto sister, which she is not. So we're going to have fun today. And we're going to learn a lot, and we want to touch some things in the news because our world has gone crazy, but God is in control. America is going to be great again because we're behind the greatest president of our generation. So everybody say amen. Praise the Lord. Pass the ammunition. Power Hour is rolling forward. Again, this is DrRandyShort calling all Americans, in particular conservative white Americans, don't get gaslit into supporting Kamala Harris. So let's look a little bit at some of the news stories that have caught my attention. I don't know if anyone has been listening because it hasn't been played that much in American news, but Mr. Miller, I believe the first name is Stephen Miller, who is the spokesperson for the State Department, which means the United States Department of State, is calling on Israel to investigate the rape of Palestinian captives. I repeat, State Department spokesman, Matthew Miller, is saying that the Israeli authorities must investigate alleged incidents of rape against Palestinian detainees and hold those responsible to account. And that's, of course, what the U.S. Department of State spokesperson Matthew Miller said. According to the Israeli station N12, they have closed-circuit television footage allegedly showing soldiers of the Israeli Defense Forces using a broomstick to sexually abuse a Palestinian prisoner at the Sideh Timin detention facility. And this is being dubbed as Israel's Guantanamo, or maybe we could say Israel's Abu Ghraib. A lot of people support Israel, and I think that Israel should exist. I want to let everybody know I have both Hebrew and Khazarian ancestry. I'm not anti-Jewish, was co-raised by a Holocaust survivor. But you can't get me to believe that you need to do that to somebody to fight for your security. I don't know. Next story. And we can talk about this when we take questions and answers later. 4 African countries now are are denouncing the Ukraine. They've been joined, the other countries, Senegal, Mali, Burkina Faso is now joined by that country Niger that just told America that they had to get all their soldiers out. They are now in solidarity with Mali, are accusing the government in Kiev under Zelensky for backing rebels involved in deadly attacks. Among those was a massacre of dozens of Christians in Burkina Faso. Our tax dollars are going to the Ukraine. Doesn't seem like it's stopping the Russians much. It's strange for it to end up in the hood in Africa killing Christians. Somebody needs to check into that. Where's our tax money going? If you're watching the news, or maybe you're not watching, especially if you're watching CNN, the Confused, or should I say the Catamite News Network, you won't hear that there are riots all over Britain. People in Britain are tired. People in Britain have risen up against all these migrants and refugees and asylees as ordinary Britons are paying more for food and fuel. Sound familiar? Are not making the rent to have housing, and yet there are people coming into Britain in record numbers in the hundreds of thousands who are being housed in hostels and 4- and 5-star hotels and all over Britain. And it's even spread over to Holland. People are attacking these places that have become residences for people who are in the country seeking asylum or are there unlawfully. Broken borders create confusion, not just in America, but in Europe and everywhere else too. So there's a gentleman by the name of Tommy Robinson. He's sort of the grand wizard of the British right, who's sort of stirred a pot. Don't agree with everything. I can agree we need borders, we need security. People need to verify who they are, and British people need to take care of Britons first, the same way Americans need to take care of Americans first. Charity begins at home. Japan had an alert that a 7.1 magnitude tremor hit Japan. Wow, we had an earthquake down in Texas, it's 5, but they had a 7 on the Richter scale. Wow, this is the first mega earthquake caution that the Japanese have issued in a while. Hope that nothing else happens. Moving right along to some news I like. Yes, I don't always agree with AIPAC. In fact, I may disagree with AIPAC quite a bit, but man, they've added 2 notches to their belt. First, they got rid of Blowman. Remember the moron, the idiot, the guy, I don't know, maybe he thought it was a sex toy. He was playing with the fire extinguisher in the congressional building to obstruct the vote in our national legislature. The little bald-headed dude who's involved in everything but not helping his local constituents, who obviously didn't turn out to vote for him, and AIPAC picked him off in New York. And lo and behold, Cori Bush, the Black Lives Matter activist who somehow made it to Congress, she lost. Forgive me. Yes, I'm biased. I'm biased. I can't stand you, Cori. You lost. Yay! Excuse me. Cori Bush, it's her, okay, she's from Missouri's 1st Congressional District, and her losing by about 7,000 votes to another gentleman, and forgive me, what's this guy's name here? His last name is Bell. Bell, who's one of her rival prosecutors, he beats her. They spent millions and millions of dollars to get her out, but you know, if you've ever had a vermin problem, you'll pay whatever you need to pay to get the mice, roaches, and rats out of your house. Bye, Cori. Moving right along. I'm just running these things down. Oh, I don't know. I say her name however I feel when I'm angry. Sometimes it's Kamswala. Sometimes it's Hobamala. Sometimes it's Kamula. I just don't like her. She's a fraud. I went to school with her when I was in school. Her sorority was alleged to have been turning tricks on 14th Street, which is a strip for prostitution in D.C. I'm just saying, now she's a vice presidential candidate. And you know my motto is, because she used to be the side piece to former San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown, dirty knees make great VPs. Yes, I said it. I'm black and American and proud of it, which she is not. I don't really think she's a citizen. Two people from other countries have an anchor baby, and both persons are Indian. She's got Caucasian on her birth certificate. Her mother's got Caucasian on her birth certificate. The father is Indian and Scottish, and yet she's black. Oh my God, was Trump telling the truth at the National Association of Black Journalists Convention in Chicago? She's a fraud. She was defunding the police, now she's for the police. Open borders, now it's close the borders. The only thing that stays open are her legs and her jaws. That's probably why she gets along with our president. She's probably why he can't remember anything. She's a horrible woman. She's a chameleon, but she's a psychotic, communistic chameleon with connections to the CCP and connections to people who don't like the ordinary American. She thinks that you should be paying tax monies for health care for any person that comes to this country, housing, university education, and some of you can barely pay your student loans. Resources we don't even have, scarce resources Kamala Harris thinks should be given to any Tom, Dick, and Harry that strolls across our unguarded border. So she changes policies, probably like she changed men back in the day. Yes, I said it. I don't care. On to more serious news, somebody that we can like. Unfortunately, the great chanteurs of the Z generation, Taylor Swift, had to cancel shows in Indiana because of the planned terrorist attack. You know, the Biden-Harris administration has the whole world hating Americans. Who would ever imagine a day where American popular artists were at risk of assassination? Who ever imagined when an American president, a former American president, would be at risk of assassination speaking to an adoring public mostly? It's a Biden-Harris thing. It's a curse on our house. It's a crime that this ever happened. And I don't care who out there doesn't like me. Biden didn't win. People like me, shoot, I wish I could have adjusted one of those machines, but the 3 chances I got to vote for Donald Trump, I did it, and we need to do it again. We need to show these fascists, we need to show these people who don't care how hungry we are. They don't care how hard it is to keep a gas tank full. They don't care how hard it is to pay the rent. We need to kick them out of this city of Washington, D.C., which I call the District of Caligula, and it certainly has been this as long as we've had Biden sitting there. A friend of honesty and truth in media, another victim of the Biden-Harris administration, the United States government, through the FBI, has gone after Mr. Scott Ritter, a patriot who tells the truth about foreign policy, who's telling the truth about what's going on in the Middle East, telling the truth about what's going on in Ukraine, and they're calling him, they're accusing him of being a foreign agent. They've seized his electronics, they've harassed him. We hope that he stays the course. I've met Mr. Ritter. He loves America. He does not hate his own country. He would never betray his own country. Isn't it interesting that mass killers, terrorists can come across our border with no scrutiny, but yet Americans, true Americans who speak the truth, whether it's out of religious conviction or out of concern for the security of their nation, are being harassed by a weaponized Department of Justice, FBI, and courts, and also weaponized Boule. Okay, let me see if there's anything else on here that's interesting to me. Otherwise, I guess I can do what I want here. Do you think we should open it up for questions? Come on, should we give the audience some? Can I give the audience some? Can I give the audience some? Well, I tell you what, we've got a few minutes. Why not? Let's take the next, say, 13, 14 minutes to take a few questions if anyone has any. If not, I can talk a little bit more. And so let me know. Are there any people, anybody on the board? Does anybody want to talk to me? There's got to be someone. Even someone in a hate group. Come on, this is an opportunity to be mean to a minority. You have to be mad. Fentanyl overdoses. There's got to be somebody that wants to talk about it. There's got to be somebody that's concerned. There's got to be somebody that can't wait for Chicago. A disaster in real time. The convention for the Democrats are coming, and they're going to coronate the Lady Godiva with the Planned Parenthood parking space as a presidential candidate. Who wants this history? Come on, somebody out there is listening. Come on. There's got to be someone, and please be biased. I don't care. I don't care if you're prejudiced, especially if you're prejudiced against Democrats. Please call in. Hey, board, do I got someone, or do you want me to keep talking here? Because I'll keep doing it. Shoot, I don't mind talking. Are you guys okay? All right. I'm not hearing anything. Engineer, nobody's talking to me. I'm all alone with the radio. Oh, no new callers? Okay, well, that's okay. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yep, hearing you loud and clear.
Wonderful. Well, in that much, I know what I have to do. I have to give the audience something that they haven't already heard. I have this passion in my heart to get the word out. And so we can start this on early. I mean, if we want to, let's do it. You know, a lot of people, if you read the news or watch the news, or you look around, certain things don't make sense. In particular, inner cities or even communities that are full of Black Americans. And America's got its problems, but America has a lot of opportunities, even with problems. Proof of that is that there were Black millionaires and prosperous communities even before racial segregation was outlawed in this country. That meant that people accumulated wealth, people had businesses, and in some instances, certain people doing better today, then than they're doing today. What's the difference? What's happened? How could you have school systems where hundreds of millions of dollars are spent and the kids can't read or write? Just nobody's reading and writing. Nobody's on their grade level for math. How does this happen? Because billions and billions of dollars have been poured into certain communities. And yet you keep seeing the same outcome. And it might lead someone who doesn't know the inner workings of a community or a people to say, these people are lost cause. They're a waste product. They can't get it together. They're outcasts from evolution. Aside from anything else you heard negative, a lot of people would never, ever, ever know that much of the chaos, confusion, poverty, crime, lack of development that you might see in a Black American community isn't necessarily, by the way, you think I'm going to point my finger at you, I'm not. It isn't the fault of white Americans or any other group of Americans, and it isn't the fault of most Black Americans. It's the fault of a sinister Black skull and bones called the Boule, established 120 years ago. And these are our skull and bones. They're globalist. They're little league globalists because they're not as big as, Bill Gates or Soros. But they're wannabes. The same way Kamala wanna be a sister when she can get votes and wanna be an Asian again after they got the votes. We've got this Boule. These wicked, sinister people who are partners to the skull and bones. And the same way that the Skull and Bones works against the true freedom and development of the majority of the Americans. The Boule, in a micromanaged way, it's segmented and marketed towards keeping down and keeping stupid and backwards the Black American community. If you ever wonder why
Randy,
people...
we have a caller.
Oh, wonderful. A caller. Yay.
We got David in Virginia.
David in Virginia. I'm a Virginian as well as a Washingtonian. Where in Virginia are you?
Oh, just a few miles south of Roanoke.
Okay.
Kind of the western middle of the state kind of thing.
Okay, how far from Danville?
But, probably about 40 miles
Okay.
north, a little bit west.
Okay. Cool.
But,
Talk to me. Talk to me.
I'm just curious about some things right there. But, my neighbor came over here the other day, and somebody, one of her relatives or something right there, gave her a dadgum email, and she was reading off to me about Harris's background and the political things, about her parents and stuff like that, the people that she associated with. And they sound like, it's a bunch of communist people that she's associated
Yes,
with.
yes.
Over 30-some years right there.
It's basically, you're 100% right. Let me answer your question. I call her AWB. That stands for Obama with boobs. Okay? Kamala Harris's father was a Marxist professor at Stanford University, and her mother was a Marxist.
Yep.
And her family back in India are leftists, and when they're not leftists, if they're BJP, they've got a connection to the Nazi Party. There's a whole connection between esoteric Brahmanism and Nazism. That's a long story. But the lady's foul. And she was the most liberal leftist senator, left of commie Bernie Sanders. She's bad news. The information that you would, it's true. She's no good. And please, she's not a Black American woman. We don't want her.
Her dad right there, he was up there, he got the Panthers started right there, he was part of that, and she was up there, she helped get the Black Lives Matter thing.
Well, Black Lives Matter is terrible. Black Lives Matter is Marxist. The Black Panthers were internationalists. I just have to say that to you. The Black Panthers were not communist. The Black Panthers were internationalists. Just so, because I was introduced to the show by Larry Pinckney, who was in the Black Panthers, God bless him. So the Panthers weren't communists, but the Panthers were internationalists. You don't have to agree with everything the Panthers are on. I just want you to know. But Black Lives Matter, they were subversive. You're right. These people hate this country. They hate this country.
Well, what I'm saying is that they was associated with all these people.
Yes.
I'm not saying that the Panthers were communists. I didn't mean to say that.
But it's okay. I got love in my heart.
Look at connections right there that she's got going on right there.
You're right.
Is deeply involved with Chinese people.
Yes.
I don't understand, maybe you news people is putting out good news for us, stupid people. But in what ways we can't hear all this stuff and make it more public, instead of, just listen to like regular TV bull crap, I don't understand.
Well, let me help you. Let me. Well, right. That because it's part of it. It's part of the game. You're not meant to understand, and it's not your fault. I worked for the NewsHour with Jim Lehrer for 4 years, and I can assure you that a lot of the things the public isn't. It's deliberately done in such a way as to make you give up on wanting to know by not telling you enough or not explaining enough as to confuse or estrange you. If you watch television news, you won't know what's going on. You literally need to ignore mainstream media in this country because it is guided by a lot of people that are leftists. In particular, I've watched the news. They absolutely hate Donald Trump. You had a former president nearly murdered in real time in front of a television audience, and they said he fell down. They doubted, they accused him of setting up his own effort to assassinate himself. They tried to blame him for it. These people who are in the media that are leftist, coastal folks, they don't like people like you and me. I lived in a trailer park in Virginia for 9 years of my life. I'm a Virginian. My family goes back. I had people in the House of Burgesses in my family, folks from Henrico County, you name it, Our Right, Dinwiddie. All my folks are down near where you're from. Okay, they're tobacco farmers, the black farmers that just fighting with Biden. That's my cousin. They hate ordinary Americans like you and I, and we've got to start looking and doing. The Bible says, "He that hungers and thirsts for righteousness shall be filled." You've got to search for the information because they will not give it. You need to understand something. There's a very evil man. You call him Obama. I call him Ofaga. They had this agreement, I think it's the Smith-Mundt Act, where they allowed the CIA and others to deceive and lie to the American public. So we now get full-scale propaganda, including stuff around this COVID. So, sir, they're not going to give us the truth. The truth is what we can take. Finding people like this Power Hour, looking for people. They may not, he was wrong once or twice, but Alex Jones is on point a lot of the time with no one else. Don't give up on people like Alex Jones. They're people who are citizens journalists who would put their lives on the line like Scott Ritter has, so they're telling the truth. That's who you need to look for. Give up on the mainstream media. They're liars and they are in conspiracy. Understand, they don't see themselves. I mean, when you look at, I call them slam a man's pooper, or Anderson Cooper for you. These guys are all super rich. They're from the Uber classes. They don't care about us. They don't see our concerns. They're not seeing people die from fentanyl or the new fentanyl that they added something to. They're not feeling our pain. They can afford gas at whatever price. They can afford food. They're making the news to control and deceive us. Kamala, she's bought and sold. She's the cheapest two-bit whore that they could put in office, and they're going to make it a brothel. That White House will be a brothel if they put her in. That's what you need to stick with. Do I have another caller? You keep calling. You keep listening. Keep reading. God bless you, guy. No other callers. Now, listen to what the man's saying. Here's a man, salt of the earth, hard-working man, you can tell. Western Virginia, Southwestern Virginia, folks down there work hard. That people who want to know, to make the best informed decision for who should make the policies under which they live, and our mainstream media lies to us. The mainstream media betrays us. The mainstream media, it's not in service of the ordinary people. We don't have journalists like we used to, who would tell the truth that would make people mad, who might get in trouble with
certified MD ophthalmologist, Dr. Robert Abel.
Yes. Okay, I didn't. Okay. No problem. No problem. How is it going?
Here's how we do this. I should have told you this. It's my fault, so I apologize. Basically, I will let you know when we have a call.
Okay.
So you don't have to keep asking. So
Okay.
If there's a caller, I will let you know. I'll break in and let you know.
Okay.
Secondly, when you want to get rid of the caller, all you have to do is just say, David, thank you very much for calling, or something to that effect. Thank you for your call.
I wasn't tired. Just his questions were long. The questions were obtuse, but he was on point. He was exactly the kind of question. So no, I don't. I like people. I don't mind. Just so yeah. But so
Someone will go on and on and on.
no, I don't worry. I'm a city slicker. We can cut him off. I didn't want people to think I don't respect him because he's from a rural area. I'm semi-rural, and I did not want that communicated. I don't. I like the country. I like animals, so that's why I wanted people. See, it makes us look good when we listen to him. It means we'll listen to anybody.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, he calls in. He
Yeah, well,
calls in every now and then.
yeah,
Yes, he's a farmer. So.
yeah, that was great. And my folks are farmers down there, so that's why I let them know.
Yep.
I get you,
Yep.
and I didn't cut him off too fast either. I don't think.
No, not at all. No, he did very well. It was very good. So, yeah, I just wanted to let you know that's how we handle things. You know, just
Okay.
let me know, just say thanks for the call.
Thank you. Oh, no problem. No problem. That's why I asked you. Tell me how to do it. I mean, I'll mess it up this first time, but the next time I'll be a veteran.
Dude, I think you're doing fantastic, Randy. Really do.
Hmm.
Really do. So I appreciate it. So, all right. So I'll go ahead and give you some audio, and we'll be back here in about another 2 minutes. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Hello to everybody. I'm doing a show standing in for someone for Power Hour, and this is my outreach to my lighter skinned Americans. And when we get a chance, we're going to talk about the Boule and Kamala. And man, I want to let you guys know thank you for all the emails, texts, calls, even some donations. Yeah, I have to buy all this new medical stuff. Somebody got me a juicer. So I'm going to be talking. Power Hour is a conservative broadcast, and my whole purpose is to introduce white America to the Boule. We've got to expose them because things will get a lot easier for us when people find out that they're black people conspiring against. It doesn't just hurt us, it hurts everybody. And so I'm sort of being the Apostle Paul for black awareness, to explain to people it's in their interest to not like the Boule. If folks don't understand, there is a method to everything I do. No matter who I'm talking to, I'm always going to be for me. The same way dude trashed the Black Panthers, or he was like, oh, you can't trash the Black Panthers. I have family in the Panthers. I mean, and they weren't bad people. So I want you guys to know I'm going to do a little bit of this. So this should be a question and answer. If you can call Power Hour, let me see. I don't know how to put you in touch with Power Hour. But I'll probably do this periodically up until the election. But man, there's a lot. I'll probably talk a little bit longer. I'm going to have to take some medication when this show is over. I'm on antibiotics up until the first week of September. It's great to see you guys again. You have no idea. This is like the second time I had something super deadly and a couple of things. And so it's good to be here, good to be alive. Yes, I'm going to tell anybody, were it not for God, I wouldn't be sitting here. And it's not like I'm a super unhealthy person. So we're going to have a discussion. I want to remind everybody to check out, we have a website now. It's called the patriarchsummit.com. I'm having issues with my StreamYard. It won't let me in, and this has been going on for a couple of days. Yes. Okay. Here we go. My fellow countrymen, lend me your ears, lend me your hearts. Americans, wake up, rise up, fight for your right to be an American citizen. We are surrounded on every side. wars abroad, invaders, terrorists crossing our borders, food prices high, gas prices high, you can't buy a house, and millions of people are getting a free ride off of your my rear end for resources we didn't even have in the first place. And this is all the blame and the fault goes to a man with dementia who has a predilection to put his hands on kids in an inappropriate way. And his slutty sidekick, side piece, heir apparent, come swallow, as Roger Stone says, Obamala, as I say, she's running to be your and my dictator in actually in a pantsuit, and probably she's doing us a favor. Can you imagine the EPA fallout if she wore dresses? Yes, I said it. We need to hear from you guys today, and there's so much going on. Welcome to the Power Hour. I'm a substitute, like a substitute teacher, but you won't mess over me because I'm tough. I'm your guest host today. I'm Randy Short out of Washington, D.C. And D.C. stands for District of Caligula, as long as these devils, not like our great president Donald J. Trump, saved miraculously from a set-up assassination that he foiled. Man, that guy has good luck. No wonder he went into the casino business. We got a lot to talk about for the next, say, hour and a half. I got my stories. I hope you have yours. We have one caller from Virginia, the great state of Virginia, and we hope we get many, many more. Now, I want to talk about some of the things in the news. I'm going to go back and just talk about how unsafe the world has gotten since they stole the election from Donald J. Trump, our 45th president. We're looking at a potential of Russia using tactical nuclear weapons because of a war in Ukraine that would have never happened had Donald Trump been president of the United States. We've got 10, 15, 20 million people, many of them raping our children, killing people, threatening and having conspiracies to murder our policemen. They're everywhere on motorcycles. Some of them even have tens of thousands of dollars in food stamp benefits every month, when American veterans here in Washington, they get $23 a month. People put their lives on the line that didn't refuse. They weren't chicken hawks like Bill Clinton. They went and served, and we'd starve them. People who've been on the public housing rolls in major cities for decades see themselves waylaid as schools and all available housing is being given to people who could be mass murderers, drug dealers, as more and more people overdose from fentanyl brought into this country like it's popcorn. Aren't you angry? Aren't you angry? Aren't you angry when you go in and a dozen of eggs in the store that I used to pay 79 cents for in Little and Aldi is $5 and $6? Did our wages jump like this? Gasoline used to be about $1.98, $1.80. It's $4, $3. Where are we going to get the money to pay for these things? This is a country that produces energy, and that moron and his Alice Cooper looking broad that he's married to, who's power crazed. They cut off the drilling for oil in places like Pennsylvania. That was jobs. That's lives. How come people aren't angry? How could people be so mad at Donald Trump and not be equally or more angry with Biden and this tramp, this Cruella de Vil of identity politics, who masquerades as a black woman while she's an Indian? Talk about a fraud. Oh my God. I mean, you got Buttigieg, whatever his name, he's a natural. The idiot that's a transportation. This country's a wreck. Now we're not safe. Haiti's in flames. Sudan is in flames. Gaza's in flames. Iran is poised to attack Israel, America's favorite ally. How did all this happen? China's poised to attack Taiwan. Russia's now talking about going to the border of Poland. What's going on? How could people not be angry with the current state of events? And the answer isn't putting a high price, well, maybe not so high, call girl in the White House who giggles and cackles like she's got a jackrabbit on. And then you've got this strange guy, the one who seems to like riots from Minnesota. Walls. He looks strange. And what man boasts about having artificial insemination? I mean, have some pride. At least pretend that you can get it up. God. What's happened to this? He's the one that, the tampon Tim, the one putting boys and tampons in the boys' room. Where were they going to put them? He has his own ideas. What's going on? Men and women's sports? What happened to the America that we believed in? What happened to family? What kind of monster says anybody that wants to sexually mutilate a child is welcome to my state? This is leadership? My God. Come on, people. Come on. You know what? You had 4 years of Donald Trump. Aside from his wife being classy, she was a wife. She wasn't a controlling menace like Jill Biden has been. And we all know that Nancy Pelosi and Ofaga, yeah, that's what I call them, they're the ones really running the government. We've had a dictatorship, people that we didn't vote for as president, making all these crazy policies. I just heard the U.S. government's going to fight greenhouse gas and climate change because they're not going to use plastic straws. What a great accomplishment for Biden. You're concerned about straws, but not missing or murdered or mutilated or disappeared women and girls. What kind of man is that? He doesn't just have dementia, he's got a demon. And Kamala's got one too. Come on, y'all, talk to me. Y'all really want this? Oh my God, I'm just hoping. I thought I was talking to some conservative people who don't like the idea that these folks want to kill a baby after it's born. That's health care. Killing somebody. Wow. Somebody help me. Somebody help me. Somebody help me understand that we're spending money on Ukraine and there are dams about to collapse in Georgia and South Carolina after 1 in 100 year rainfall. Wow, a hurricane came through. Hurricane Deborah. We're fighting for other people's borders and their infrastructure, and we're not safe here. We're not taken care of here. Homelessness has gone up under Biden. Stock market is down. That never happened under Trump. Doesn't somebody miss that guy? I mean, I know he gets a... Donald Trump is like the irascible father that you had that was his own man that did what he felt like doing, but he was a man. He wasn't a soy boy. He wasn't moist. He wasn't getting pooped on or urinated on during Pride Month. He did something. His critics, what have they made? What have they even ventured and failed in and bounced back like he did? That's a great man. It's a great man. Not perfect, far from perfect. Lots of stuff that Trump can do. His team needs to work on their message to show where they're going to take the country. But in the interim, where are the people who love America? I hear people care. I hear people say they want this country to be great, but how can it be great if we're not standing up? How can it be great if we're not fighting? How can it be great if we just sit back and not turn out on November and show these people that you can't shove Willie Brown's side piece down our throats. You're not going to allow this black skull and bones called the Boule that manipulates the black vote against its own benefit. You're not going to put a Boule side piece in the White House with her super weird husband. They're the ones that are weird. The scriptures say from the wealth of the heart, the mouth speaks. Well, wasn't he the one that called somebody weird? He looks weird. And I would love to see the contents on his hard drive. I'm saying it.
Randy, you have a caller.
Come on, bring him on. Hey, Eric, are you mad?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Well, you brought up a subject on Haiti. I didn't know. Wasn't the president assassinated about the time they wanted to bring in the COVID shots? Or do I have that wrong? I wonder if you knew anything about that.
Well,
what book do you recommend to this Boule, this resources to see how that works?
Well, there's a guy by the name of Steve Coakley. Cokeley. Steve Coakley. And all you have to do is go to Google and put in Black Boule. And in fact, let me talk about those devils. Do you know that these groups, some of them are not for profits, but they're engaged in electioneering for Biden and for Kamala Harris? They should be stripped of their not-for-profit status. I'm sick and tired of black organizations getting a double standard. That you say you're not for profit and you're not political, and yet you're partisan. And you have people voting for no good, rotten, communistic, baby-killing, gender-bending Democrats that our community doesn't like. Okay, they need to be stripped of their tax-exempt status. They need to pay taxes because they're creating the climate for the confusion in our cities, and you out in the suburbs and the rural areas shouldn't have to pay for it. Make these elitist blacks who are rich. 15% of blacks in this country get 90% or more of the money that comes to black America. These devils need to pay taxes. So now let's talk about Haiti. Very quickly, Haiti has oil, Haiti has gold, Haiti has uranium. Haiti also has children that are elites used for sex toys. There's a very good woman, her name is Ezeli Danto, Ezilidanto. She has a very good website. Anything you want to know about Haiti, she's got it. But I know Miss Danto, and look, I gotta tell you this. There were these young girls that these people had picked out that had purple labia majora, and they got about 60 of them on a yacht, and they were taking them somewhere. And she had to get Interpol. So Haiti is a sexual trash can for people like the Clintons. What they built with the few $1 million that Haiti got, they got like $14 billion, and through the Clintons, about $13.6 billion got stolen from Haiti. For the what remained were built hotels for people to pursue children and women. I mean, it's a complete disgrace what the Democrats have done. And what Obama did, Obama let tens of thousands of people die in that earthquake, refusing to send in aid. So, and yes, the president who was corrupt, and you have to understand that there were several people that should have been president of Haiti, but the Clintons. And there's this girl, her last name is Mills, Cheryl Mills. She worked under Hillary Clinton to make certain that the Haitian people couldn't get democracy. Instead, they had a guy who was he's no longer there. His name was Sweet Mickey. This guy used to perform with his buttocks exposed. And when the women said, look, we need safe water to drink, and he said, you have water up your pants. So, in fact, the name of his political party was the Baldhead Party. which is a double entendre. It really meant the penis head party, which meant they had all these degenerates working with Obama and the Clintons running Haiti. So you've got drug dealing deviants dominating Haiti.
Okay, well, I was
Yes, did you go? We must have lost that one.
I go.
Oh, you're there.
Oh, well, I'm talking. I don't know if you can hear me.
Okay, I'm listening because I want to hear from you.
Oh, I was thinking that the president of Haiti that got assassinated, I thought he was probably on the up and up.
No.
He didn't want the COVID shots in, and then he
Well,
died.
he's right about the COVID shot. I mean, you know, a broken clock is right twice a day, right? He was right. Now, you know his wife was involved in his assassination, right? I mean, it's a dirty.
No,
It's
I don't know other than any. That's the only thing I know is what I just heard.
it's so dirty. And a lot of the drugs that are coming into Florida and all up and down the East Coast are coming through these crooked gangs connected with the Haitian government. You know that the Kenyans have sent people over there, so now there's guerrilla warfare between the gangs and the United Nations people there, and even that's iffy because the United Nations troops left behind 100,000 biracial bastards when they were there, plus the guys defecated in the drinking water, which killed about 30,000 Haitians from cholera. So it's a mess. It's a real mess. I know a lot of Haitians supported Trump, but there were certain people, the Hillary people and the State Department, they still made certain that a crooked person was installed. Even as Trump was being inaugurated, they made certain that the corruption would continue. And Haiti wasn't given the kind of attention it could have gotten from the Trump White House, but the die was cast. There are a lot of very dirty people involved in this Haiti thing. Thank you. I'm ready for another caller. No other callers. Thank you, Eric, for your call. And Haiti and the whole world has been harmed by the Biden-Harris administration. I have friends in Sudan. In fact, oh my God, I was supposed to call Uganda yesterday. One of my best friend's sister, they've had to flee to Uganda. There are people dying in Ethiopia, people dying in Congo. You know, whenever the Democrats come in, as much as they're supposedly the best friends black people ever had, crapola. People die all over Africa, and they let the illegals run in and drive us. And yes, they're black jobs, damn it. It sure it is. My dad drove a bus where a lot of black people get jobs, or in municipal jobs, they get government jobs, they get state and local jobs. That's where opportunities have come. Hell yeah, we need those black jobs. In fact, those stupid elitists in Chicago, those tramps, I don't even think they were black American women. NABJ. Let me, National Association of Blowjobs. That's how I feel. Those idiots to disrespect President Trump like that. They knew what he meant when they said black jobs. I've worked as a waiter. I've worked as a butler. I've had all kinds of stuff. When your community is working to get parity, you work where the jobs are available. In fact, the biggest problem that we have is there are not enough black jobs, or not enough people often interested in working things that have been associated with blacks in jobs. Not that I want people to stay there, because we should own, we should build, we should control. That's what the illegals and the unlawful people do. There's no reason we can't do that. But then again, there is. It's that Boule. The disrespect of President Trump in Chicago by the National Association of Black Journalists, those pork chop feminist frauds, in particular Rachel Scott, who came off as like a rude call girl who'd been shorted. How dare her talk to Donald Trump like that? I mean, I know a lot of us have wanted to fight. I almost wish I could be a trans for a minute and box her. Talk to me like that. You don't talk to a former president, a head of state, one of the most powerful men in the world, like he's some John that didn't give you an extra 20. That was the Boule people. A lot of Americans are looking, saying, what's up with black Americans? When you see CNN and you look at Boy Reed, she looks like a golden marmoset monkey with blonde hair. When you see these people, they're not, a lot of them, Joy Reid isn't even a black American. A lot of these people aren't even black Americans. This is what they do with Kamala. Anybody brown is a black American. That's crap. A Nigerian is a Nigerian. A Jamaican's a Jamaican. My family, I'll tell anybody, my grandfather 9 generations ago was Sir Calvert. The city of Baltimore is named for my 9th great grandfather. So we go way back. These people that just show up, they're not us. Stop speaking for us and stop playing games. They see a little tension between black and white and they play a game like Kamala's doing to make us hate one another. Don't fall for the okie doke.
Harmful organisms are everywhere, affecting your health and well-being. Fortunately, there's a solution. Here.
All right. You hear me?
Yeah, did I fade out properly that time? I got the cue.
Yeah, it was fine. That was fine.
Good.
Yep, good deal.
How much
All right,
time do we have?
Just to give you a heads up. Okay, we come back in about 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But, we're going to have some calls. I told them that we only had like about 2 minutes left in that. They said they're all going to call back. So when they call back, I will let you know. Hang
Okay.
on the line.
Okay.
Hang on there. Studio. Yep. Stand by, Brady. All right. Randy, we're going to have Brady on the line.
Okay.
He just called in.
Okay, good. Where is he calling out of?
Arizona.
Okay, great.
Yep. So there's one. I'll let you know whenever we have other ones, okay?
Okay.
All right. Stand by. I'll give you some audio. We have another 3 minutes.
Okay. All right, guys. I gotta reach everybody. Who's calling from California? I'll be over with this. Let me see, I got maybe another hour. Let me see. Hey, Hannibal. El Negro. Hey, Reese. MFM, everybody. Star. Thank you. Star. I'm gonna buy me some herbs. Thank you. Big Cree Money. Don Washington. Hi, Zelensky. Hey, Erica. Bags. Reese. Okay. The Bay Area Panthers did read from Mao's Red Book, but if you go and look them up, they were internationalists. They took in all kinds of people's ideas. They weren't doctrinaire Marxists, and I'm saying that because the people that I talked to were actually Black Panthers.
The Power Hour is an independent radio show. We are funded by people who appreciate our work, not by ads or algorithms. Your support is key to the continuation of this broadcast. To show your
The
support,
D9 and the Boule go together. EJ, they're lying. They don't want the condemnation of the community. They want to boast about how great they are, and then when the community says, but damn it, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, then they want to say they're not a part of it. It makes no difference. They need to quit. They need to renounce being a part of that. Why are you calling yourself Greek when you're black? Why can't these so-called Divine Nine come out for reparations? Where are they? Only when it matters to them, they operate as if they're a separate community unto themselves. So your fraternizers are lying, and they're liars. And I don't care about how they feel. Their feelings should be hurt. Our people are dying, and they're helping kill us off, either through inaction, denial, or commission. Stop playing games with us. Stop lying to us. Do what you can do. Who runs the school systems in this country? The AKAs and the Deltas, and our kids can't read. Those hoes fail us on purpose. They send their kids to private schools. They go somewhere where white kids are and where black kids are. They don't give a damn. I've seen it. I'm sick of it.
Randy, we're coming back in 20 seconds.
Okay.
7829 or visit southtowermall.com. And remember, beware of knockoffs. Get the original. Get the
We are back. This is the Power Hour. Oh, that was too fast. We are back with the Power Hour, and this is DrRandyShort, and I am proudly so called a Black Russian, and if I'm a bot, I'm a proud bot, and I do it because I love it, because I love this country, I love the unborn, I like borders, I like real citizenship, I like affordable gas and food, and so do you. Everybody out there, lend me your ears. In fact, I'm calling all Americans. In fact, I'm calling all white people, calling all black people. Everybody, yellow, black, and white, who the pretty in God's sight that walk under the sun and the stars and the sky of America. We are in the battle for our future and our children's future. And it can't be trusted to identity politics and to a CCP side piece of an indolent mayor and whatever, and also this governor. Oh my God, I call him balls. We can't let come swallow and balls. I like that, or balls and come swallow. Be the dynamic duo that take America down and under. They've had 4 years. This country has fallen faster. It took the Romans 1,000 years. Biden has done it and like almost 48 months. Come on, people. It's 40 some odd months. It's got to stop. And it stops with you. Open your ears, open your mind. I hear that there's a caller from Arizona, and I hope he's supporting that woman, Lake. Man, is she smart. Man, is she pretty. Man, is she fierce. Man, does she fight. I wish all the women in politics fought like Miss Lake does. She knows how to talk to those fake news journalists. Hey, Brady. Are you there, Brady?
Yeah, good morning, Randy. How you doing there, comrade?
Hey, man, I am great. You support Lake, don't you? Please say you support her. Please, please.
Oh, no, I've been behind Carrie Lake
Okay.
for probably about 10 years.
She-
She should be a news journalist
She-
on the TV here
she
in
is-
Arizona.
Oh.
And she was just something last week. I love the lady. She will be president someday. I'm not sure what year, but she will be the president of the United States one day.
She, wow.
She goes after those people on the TV here in Arizona.
Yes.
And if you watch any Phoenix TV station out here, it is 100% Democrat. And in this state, I've been here many, many years now, probably 15 years since I've been in Arizona. I still haven't seen one Joe Biden sign. Yet, Arizona, at the end of the election, always somehow ends up going blue for the Democrats.
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something true? Before the election in 2020, I went up to New York, and if you take the bus from Washington to New York, tells you I'm pretty average. You have to go through Delaware. You go the entire length of Delaware. I didn't see one Biden sign in the entire state of Delaware. I saw Trump signs. I didn't see one Biden sign. And I want to tell you something. Even in Delaware, a certain number of votes had to be given to Trump that Biden and them had taken. Something else I'm going to say to you about Biden that makes me so angry. Do you know that they lynch people in Delaware, blacks, that they're death squads? Did you know that Delaware is one of the blackest states in the country? The people are completely abject poor. It's as bad as Mississippi, but you'll never hear about it. Most people don't know. When you hear about the Brown versus Board of Education case, they're always talking about the deep South states. People don't know that the Delaware schools were part of the Brown case because of extreme segregation. In fact, Delaware was one of the last states in the Union to outlaw slavery. It's a very, 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 very bigoted place. And Biden, even at the country club he's a member of, they have a catchment pond, and 2 black kids have died in it. Instead of them putting up a fence, that was left it there. And in fact, they went after the mother of one of the kids who died in the pond. I mean, Delaware, I'm not putting Delawareans down. I just want you to know that when you say you didn't see any signs, I believe you. Now bring it, come on, you were talking. I cut you off, but I just want you to know I hear you. Keep going. You're making me feel good, Brady.
Yeah, he already dropped. We have Esther in Washington State.
Esther.
Yes, hello, Randy.
Yes. I hope you like the Esther in the Bible.
What's your last name, Randy?
My last name is Short,
Short. Okay.
like Bobby Short, the guy that was living with Anderson Cooper's mom, Bobby Short, supposedly a cousin.
Okay, I wouldn't know about that. But
Okay, I wouldn't either.
All right. My.
Okay.
What a mess we're in. Don't you think?
Yes, and you're in Washington with the people. I've got a cousin up there who drives the bus, who sends me pictures of just all these people laid out on drugs downtown, and people just, I mean, this, and that's Black Lives Matter. Excuse me. Oh my God! I mean, you know how much we can't stand.
Black Lives Matter at its best.
Oh God, no! Well, I can't stand Black Lives Matter, and I'm going to give you a little confession. The one that wears the nose ring that looks like one of the Pompolovo Bulls with the weave on, Patrice Cullors, I think her stepfather's a cousin of mine. When I was I'm all into genealogy, and when I ran across the fact that my great-grandmother's uncle was named Cullors, like Patrice Cullors, I started cursing in the national anthem because I didn't want it. Says, God, I don't want to be. I felt like sort of like a white bigot that finds out they have black family members that's stealing all the watermelon. I'm like, God, I don't want you, right? I was so happy to find out she was a stepdaughter. I just didn't want any connection to Black Lives Matter. I've done everything I could to fight them. I want to tell you one story, and then I'll let you talk. I promise. You know, there was this film called Black, White, and Blue that you can catch on Vimeo. And I did a drop kick assault to tear down Black Lives Matter. And as a result, they blocked the film from being seen in the film festivals because I talked about them like the trash commie coons that they were. Okay? And you should have been there at the theater. They have this theater in Silver Spring, downtown Maryland. It's a city just north of Washington. It's a silver theater. And all the local Washington, D.C. leadership of Black Lives Matter were threatening a guy by the name of Curtis Schoon to take me out of the film. It says, you know how much he hates us. And I was in the audience saying, yes, I hate you guys. I really hate you. And it says he's tried to destroy us, which I've done my best to attack them. And your film won't go anywhere because of Short. And he says Short stays. So not many people have seen the film, but you can. Now go ahead. I'm just excited. And Washington State, my uncle my uncle lives in Olympia, and I'm certain that my uncle, who's a Vietnam vet and served until recently, so he's in the army like 50 years. Um, we, my cousins that are there are appalled by the liberals there and the schools where the kids don't have to read and write. You mean to tell me that black slaves could read and write secretly back 160 years ago, and they can't read after 9 years in the public school system out there? Those folks deserve to be hung. And don't tell me black kids, we can skate backwards and do stuff with skateboards and can't read. That's crap. Make them do it. And make everybody do it. How are we going to compete in the information age if we're all morons?
Yeah, I know. I was at the dentist yesterday, and while waiting for the dentist, I bring my little book with me, and it's all the quotes from Louis L'Amour, and he's an awesome writer. And one of them, and the attendant, I looked at her, and I said, you know what? You remind me of this little quote Louis L'Amour said, and what he said, and what the quote was is, you are the type of woman a man can walk beside. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes. Ooh.
That's just a one. And then she says, "Oh, I don't read."
I thought you were going to say, I'm not a woman.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were going to say, I'm not a woman.
No, she was very pretty. Nice.
Oh, okay. Well, you can't tell these days.
They don't read anymore. They don't have the capability of sitting down, quieting their mind, concentrating on words, seeing the picture, understanding the picture, understanding the wisdom to carry them on to the next page, because they can't anymore. Those circuits are dead.
And do you realize how
Very dangerous.
it is
where we're
dangerous?
living with this.
It's dangerous if we have all these morons, because those are the same kinds of people that would vote for a cackling slut like Kamala. And by the way, I want to tell you the good news. Yes, she's a slut. I went to school with her. I mean, this is no secret. And I went to school with Obama, and it's alleged he was sexually harassing the Jewish guys in the staff of the Harvard Law Review. I mean, I'm so tired of the fake black people who aren't honest. We've got scum, high and low. And stop defending them. Stop defending. I didn't want Floyd George to die, but dude was a drug dealer, pushing poison in the hood. I mean, I don't like the optics. I don't like any of that. But my brother, the Bible says the wages of sin is death. If you deal a wicked life, well, wicked end comes to you. Not that I want anybody killed or hurt by police. I'm not sanctifying anything. But yeah, we got too many morons. And let me tell you, Kamala is such a cluster screw. Do you know they were offering the same things that they give to the illegals, food and money? They gave people money to go to that what's that thing called? The rally that she had in Atlanta. That's why she had the slut who I hope Megan Thee Stallion's really a female. They had the women twerking, but they had homeless people fill the thing up. That's why you only saw the front of Kamala Harris's rally, because you may have seen a whole bunch of broke black folks with no signs. So once that
When you see Kamala talking or even by, you don't see the crowd. They don't have the crowd.
they don't have a crowd, the only body count they have are the people they've slept with or the kids they've molested. That's the only crowd they've got. I mean, come on, I'm tired of this. I'm sick and tired. Nobody. I live in D.C., and the people here, because of their federal jobs, are for Biden. But really, I mean, come on. Donald Trump is popular. Even if you hate him, you know who he is. I mean, Biden, are you kidding me? Yeah, you saw the movie Animal House, and it was shot in Oregon State. Remember the character Stork from Animal House?
Actually, I've never watched Animal House.
Anybody that's seen Animal House, there's a character that's really ignorant, that's a part of the fraternity that John Belushi's in, and his name is Stork. and he walks just like Joe Biden. It just blew my mind. You know, the things that you see that are wild, like, have you noticed that Kamala Harris's stepdaughter looks like the IRA militant named Bobby Sands that Margaret Thatcher assassinated? I mean, look at the stepchild. I mean, there's something wrong in the Imhoff family. Even Kamala Harris's little girl looks like a grown man.
I wouldn't know about that, Randy.
Well, I'm telling you, look up Bobby Sands. Just look at BOBBYSANDS. Get a picture, and then look for Kamala Harris's daughter. She looks like a boy. She looks like a young Bobby Sands. I hope she doesn't have the same fate. I mean, just all of these awful people, and there's something wrong with that governor, the one that wants tampons in the boys' room, that wants kids' genitalia hacked off. He thinks that that's helping somebody. How cutting my willy off, how's it going to help me? Especially if I think it's going to grow back. Like, these kids probably think they have regenerative things like an insect. Not so. When they do a double mastectomy, or if they cut your thing off, it doesn't come back. And they give these women these horrible, it looks like a dead snapping turtle type, I guess, you know, ding-a-ling. That's, and then they all want to commit suicide. And there are a lot of these mass killers. All these people have been lied to and deceived. They're mentally ill. This man is crazy. He's crazy. And look at his youngest son. I would love to look at the hard drive of former Governor Walz. I wish I could see. I know I have an Interpol case against him. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, Mr. Short, thank you for doing what you're doing. It's not an easy job, that's for sure. But when I started hearing about Haiti, you know, I realized that the blindness has existed in some countries for millennium. This millennium. And that country is India.
Yes, it
Now,
is.
and they have a caste system.
Yes, they do.
And the top are known as the Brahmins.
That's
or what
right.
they call the Indian elitist Brahmins.
Yes.
Now, if the Brahmin belief system that is accepted by all Hindus and other people of India, and this has been going on for thousands.
3,500 years. And by the way, the black Indians.
A Brahmin man commit adultery anytime he wants with women, men, young girls, and young boys, and it is considered holy because the Brahmin holy writings say that a Brahmin's insemination is a blessing.
And this is what Mahatma Gandhi did. He messed with children and everything, and yet they make him out to be the liberator of everybody. And Martin Luther King was a Gandhian.
Well, now, I don't know about that.
I do.
But-
I'm telling you what I know, and I'll go one better.
You'd have to quote the source.
No, anyone that can go into Google can look and find out that Mahatma Gandhi, aside from the fact that, you know, he wasn't that kind to his wife, was involved in the Bambara War, killing black Africans, so all this stuff. Gandhi's been built up. He's not what you think he is. And I want to mention to you, in the Hindu mythology, or their creation, or the ideology, whatever you want to call it, or the creation myth, the lower class people, the untouchables, the Sudras, in fact, the N-words of India, right? People like me, basically, we come out of God's buttocks. Isn't that funny that Kamala Harris is a Brahmin and she's claiming a black identity when in her own culture we're seen as filth out of God's behind? This is why Indians are very...
You're going to see her claim all races of the world.
No, she's not. Once she gets in, she'll dump. This has happened in Guyana and Trinidad. There's a long history of how the Brahmin Hindus deal with black people. Okay, it's a problem. It's a global problem. And you'll find out the no good trash black secret society people in this Boule, they are down with it. This is why you will see a statue of Gandhi, not Jesus Christ, on the grounds of Martin Luther King's Ebenezer Church. This is part, in fact, Gandhi hated black people. In fact, what Gandhi wanted to do, and this is something that you need to know about in India, when the people that were the untouchables, this whole thing about Gandhi fasting for Indian independence, that's what you were told, is a lie. The reason that Gandhi fasted was the untouchables, pardon my language, the niggers of India, right, wanted to get their share in the representative government when India became independent. They were led by an Indian untouchable named Ambedkar, who lived in Harlem and learned from black Americans in part how to fight against racism. This is something you're not taught. Okay, and Ambedkar organized the untouchables to say, we want a percentage of power to look out for ourselves after 3,500 years of being enslaved to these Brahmins, right? And what happened, Gandhi said to Ambedkar, you guys are to only do what we tell you to do, like the Democratic Party says to black Americans. And when Ambedkar says, no, it's our opportunity to pull ourselves up, Gandhi said, I'm going to fast. And if I die, they're going to mass murder you people at the bottom caste. And that's why Gandhi fasted. And when Ambedkar didn't want to see the mass death of the untouchables, the blacks, should I say, of India, he gave in. It's called the Pune Pact. Okay, I know exactly what I'm talking about. So Gandhi's a fraud. And in fact, Gandhi said, a lot of people teach you, oh, well, Gandhi honored people by calling them Harijan. Jan, you hear the word genocide, Indo-European, so that means people. Hari means God, God's people. But if you really understand, it's a double entendre. Those were the temple prostitutes, the people to be screwed by the Brahmins. So you basically call the people tricks, hoes, sluts. And that's supposedly an upgrade from being a pariah or a paria or an untouchable or a pachima. I was an activist with the untouchable community or should I say the Dalit community for many years. Okay, and by the way, yes. Go ahead.
We don't have to go to India to get enlightened. You've already enlightened us about India. Thank you so very much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Do I have anybody else? And if not, I'm telling y'all the real talk. If Kamala Harris becomes president, we're going to have this caste system all over this country. American people have no idea how blessed we are to have Donald Trump standing in the gap, being falsely accused. And I want to say something about these no good black mafia Boule people. Every time you see a prosecutor or judge and they're black, they're in one of those secret societies. They do not represent black Americans. They're making people who like Donald Trump think that black people have a conspiracy against Donald Trump. It's a lie. Donald Trump was really good to black people in New York. Donald Trump would extend loans and credit to people when no one else could get it. He got awards from everybody. I don't like the Central Park situation. I don't like a thing or two that Donald Trump did. But on an average, if that's all you can point to, Donald Trump comes out okay. And what Donald Trump's friends need to do is remind people that Donald Trump is the only president since really Johnson, and what he wanted to do was greater than what Johnson simply wanted to cool the cities off from the riots. Donald Trump had the Platinum Plan put together by grassroots black Americans to put money in our communities, not for us to waste, but to build up businesses to become a strong link in the chain that makes America. We need that Platinum Plan enhanced and brought back. And I challenge people that like Trump and want to see him win to tell everyone, because the Boule, people like that no good Roland Martin, all of those people like that Rachel Scott, and all those people like Whoopi Goldberg that you see on TV, or Don Woman or Gone Woman, all of these people you see on TV who do not speak for black people, they're against the rank and file ordinary people that Donald Trump was trying to lift up. And they're afraid if they learn about the Platinum Plan, if they learn about the criminal justice reform, if they learn that Donald Trump went to black leadership right there in the White House and asked, how can I be an effective president for black Americans? And he was told by some cruddy black Republicans, don't do anything, just help everybody. When we've got special needs, let's just be honest. I'm not ashamed. When you go through slavery, you go through sharecropping, you go through discrimination, you're going to have to do some remedial work to catch up because you're often held back. Donald Trump got that. Donald Trump tried. They stole the election from him, and they stole a lot of people's futures. Come on, y'all. Are we going to let this liar, this woman, in fact, there's a good case. Anybody that wants to know the heart of Kamala Harris needs to look up a young woman by the name of Mitrice, Mitrice Richardson, a black debutante who was disappeared. They found her body horribly dismembered. Kamala Harris campaigned that she would do something to find out who did it, and she laughed in the faces of the family of the decedent. And I have another friend. Her name is Reverend Denise Johnson. Her son Gregory Johnson was murdered by his frat brothers. They made it out to be a suicide. His cadaver sodomized. Kamala Harris obstructed justice. She would lose things. People need to understand that there were horrible things. Children raped by the Archdiocese of San Francisco, and she covered up. This woman's wicked. You look at the black homeless in Los Angeles, a lot of them got bad loans from the banks that Kamala Harris quietly made certain that they didn't have to do right. When you see a lot of people on Skid Row, some of them with jobs, that's the handiwork of Kamala Harris. She's corrosive. She's a cancer. She's an STD with a cackle. We know about the warts on Donald Trump, but we also saw him be president for 4 years. We know about peace. We know about enough food. We know that they put this COVID out and set him up and put him in a situation where he had to put up with trying to make a good face of this game that the pharmaceuticals and Fauci and all the other globalists put on him. And now they're going to blame him for it. He's late. He made the people die. What about the people who made this experimental whatever it is that all these people are having, dropping dead and having hysterectomies and what is it, spontaneous abortions and so forth, and people dying everywhere, having heart attacks and myocarditis. I want to tell everybody my personal story about Donald Trump. That Donald Trump got a letter from myself and 2 other black ministers, and on the strength of us asking, Donald Trump made hydroxychloroquine available as an option if people didn't trust the shots. He tried. I know a lot of people who died. I have one friend, Tisha, in Brooklyn. She had like 28 members of her family die in like a year. They all were vaccinated. This wouldn't have happened had there not been such a hatred put in people's hearts and minds against Donald Trump. Come on. Somebody tell me, was he really that bad? Was it as bad as it is right now? Were the cities as violent? Were people stealing everything? Was everything disappearing? Carjackings here and what? They're carjacking people, military people, police with Biden.
20 years, Paramount has been a trailblazer, leading the way in providing our customers with only the best health, wellness, and readiness products. We have worked hand in hand.
Hey, Brooke.
Small businesses, and we continue to provide.
Oh my, yes, I'm pushing.
All right.
Yes.
All right, ready?
How much time we got?
All right, so we've got, what do you mean for the break or left of the show?
We're left of the show.
We have until 55, so what do we got? We got about a half hour.
We have a half hour? Woo. Okay. Anybody calling in?
Don't have any callers right
Okay.
now.
Are
I'll let you
people
know as soon
afraid
as
of
we
me?
get
How,
another caller.
but I hope they're not intimidated. I'm not trying to be that harsh. Come on, man. Let
No,
me.
we have, no, it's not like that. We have, there are days that we don't get hardly any callers. There's days that we don't get any callers.
Uh-huh.
People
Uh-huh.
just listen. People just listen.
Okay, well, I hope they're listening. I hope, man, if we get that tramp, we're dead.
Yeah.
Okay, now you know what?
I'll get you some audio.
Can you add another person to the call?
Sure.
Uh, let me see if I can get Larry Pinkney on here. Let me
Or you
see.
could have him call in. I mean, he can simply just call the toll-free number.
Let me see. He just called me, and uh, I want him. And see, I didn't want to bug him. Hold on one second. Let me try one other thing. And what's the number? I can have people call. Tell me, I've got a bunch of people listening. What's the number for people to call in? 844
769
769
2944.
2944. Do that one more time for me. 844 844
769
769
2944.
2944. Okay, everybody that's on this, if you want to call into the show, call 844 769 2944.
Larry? Yeah, it's the studio here for the Power Hour.
Can y'all put that up there for me? Moderators, Brooke, anybody. 844 769 2944.
2944.
You guys can call. I got a half hour. We can really kick it up. That's
I've got
right.
you on here, Larry. You wanted to know if you could come on the line. Okay, stand by. I'm gonna
Oh my God.
and I'll let him know, all right? Thank you. All right, I have Larry standing by.
Oh my God. This is a legend. Oh my God. I got Larry Pinkney, y'all. This is crazy. I don't believe this. I don't believe
All right,
this.
stand by. We got 30 seconds, all right?
Okay.
Resisting plaque, reducing the development of cavities.
Thank you,
and
Brooke.
promoting healthy teeth and gums. Vitamin toothpaste comes in original
Thank you,
formula
Brian.
also with
I'm just
and
starting. If I can get
xylitol,
over this
as well
health
as
madness,
great taste
we can get some
formula
stuff done.
formula too.
Hey,
Get Vitamin
Brooke
toothpaste and mouthwash
and
from
Devin,
Powerball today.
can you guys
And have
put
healthy
down
checkups.
the Patriarch Summit website, which is patriarchsummit.com?
Or order from thepowermall.com.
Patriarchsummit.com is our website. Definitely we want people to check that out. We are back, and I've got a legend, a human rights legacy, a educator, a writer, a thinker, a scholar, an alumnus of the American Gulag fighting for human rights and justice. I have the Black Writers Guild founder and a person with black commentator and a person that was in the original and only true Black Panthers and the Republic of New Africa and all these other wonderful things that a lot of you have probably been miseducated about. I have none other than Brother Larry Pinkney, born in Baltimore, raised in the Washington, D.C. area, and he's been active for 60 years on behalf of freedom. If he could get a few $1,000s for all that he's been through, he'd be richer than Bill Gates. Welcome, Brother Larry, to the Power Hour, and I am the substitute journalist or whatever I am, and I'm here just fighting against Kamala Harris. Please help me.
Well, thank you, Dr. Brother Randy Short. Thank you very much. First and foremost, I want to give my love and strength
in memory of the late, great, incredible, wonderful, amazing, and I mean and meant every word that I said, Joyce Riley, Captain Joyce Riley, Captain U.S. Air Force, retired. Joyce, I know you're watching us, I know you're listening to us, and I know that you know that we love you. We love you, and we love the audience of the Power Hour. We love all that you and our brothers and sisters of the Power Hour have done and are continuing to do. That's the first thing I really want to say. Every day, Joyce is in my heart. Every day. And the listeners to the Power Hour, you know, I'm going to say that we show our faith by our works. James chapter 2, verse 26, that faith without works is dead. So let's be alive. Let's not be dead. Let's be alive. There's so much work to be done. The lies and the distortions and the constant subterfuge that all of us as Americans, as U.S. citizens, be we black, white, brown, red, yellow, we are all of us U.S. citizens, and we must fight, struggle. Now, I'm not talking about violence for the crooks out there that will try to distort what I and others are saying, but we must struggle to regain our republic. We must do this. At stake is everything. So, you know, Brother Randy, what's on your mind? Tell me, and I'll respond. It's good to hear your voice.
I'm here, and I've got an audience. I hope they call in. The number is 844-769-2944. I'm trying to raise the awareness to the existence of the Black Little League Skull and Bones, aka the Boule, and how these crooked black globalists are trying to create a race war while stealing over 90% of the income that comes to the black community, blaming the mass impoverishment of black Americans on whites while they steal everything that whites give to try to help black people. They're also attacking Donald Trump. Where these people are waging war, they are part of a corrosive cancer, and people's eyes need to be opened up. It needs to matter if there's a black mafia. It's as dangerous as an Italian mafia, and it should be investigated. When these people control polling stations, and they're the ones that were behind the votes being stolen in Georgia and in Chicago, that this needs to be known that Donald Trump and Miss Lake, they aren't wrong. Mr. Lindell isn't wrong. There's a conspiracy of secrecy in Milwaukee and in Detroit. And we need to say it. It's black, criminal, anti-patriotic, anti-family, anti-human people doing this. And we're here to denounce them the same way that other people have called out the swamp that are in other groups in this country.
They are part of the swamp. They are an integral part of the swamp. They, in fact, are part of the foundation of the swamp. We need to, all of us, irrespective of our color, our pigmentation, our gender, we need to call it out for what it is. Call it out for what it is. You're absolute. I'm proud of you that you're putting it out there, because our brothers and sisters need to know what time it is.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, it's time for us to unify. To unify. You know, they tried to murder, to assassinate
our president.
Mr. Trump. That's right. That's right. And you know what? They're going to try again. They've done everything they can to assassinate his personality, to assassinate
his business, to take his money, to break him.
Everything. So what we need to know is that means what? It means we're right on target. It means that the globalists, all right, it means that the globalists are bound and determined because their backs are against the wall. They're like wild animals.
And can I tell you something? Can I mention this? Something that really makes me angry, and I've got to say it like it is. That's why a lot of people listening need to know there are a lot of folks supporting Trump that you've been told, we know nigger treatment when we see it. And this man's been treated like he's less than a nigger for years. And we're furious about it. We understand it, and we're pissed.
That's right. That's right. That's what we should be, and we have to put it out there to all of our brothers and sisters. They want to act like, oh, this is a white thing. No, this is not a white thing. This is a people thing. All of us as U.S. citizens. This is a thing to regain our republic. We're not perfect. We're not claiming to be. But we're damn sight better than these scummy, low-life, lying, despicable, so-called Democrats who are not democratic. They're undemocratic.
And can I interject something?
Yeah.
There's a resistance in our community because, the Boule, they did it to us really bad. I never knew there were so many morons in our community until Ofaga became president. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Obama for you guys. I would call him, that's what we call him, Ofaga. And y'all, everybody should call him that. That's all he's been pushing since he's been out here. We're sick and tired of that. People need to eat. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you do it standing on your head or hanging from the ceiling. We need food. We need housing. We need jobs. We need borders. We need unity. We need international peace and security. And these people are talking about whacking off private parts on babies. They're talking about all this stuff that nobody needs. And this is brought to us, and I believe he's still pulling the strings, and he likes pulling things. That's why he used to be at the Man's Country, a bathhouse in Chicago. I'm glad they knocked it down. They need to knock him down too. We've got to wake up and think big. And it doesn't matter if everybody likes me. What matters is that we live in harmony and coexistence in the country, because when the illegals come across the border, and I've worked with illegals, they see themselves as immigrants first. They're united against us. The people coming here who don't have documentation all have that criminal connection that they're linked. They don't like you whether you're black, white, yellow, you're a citizen. I just came out of the hospital and the way I was treated was shameful. Dude left blood all over my sheets. Was mad when I said it was unhygienic. Like, who was I to not want bloody sheets? And he wasn't white. No, he wasn't a white person. This was an African. It was an African that don't tell me about. I'm sick and tired of hearing about black and white. We need to talk about citizen and non-citizen. Those are the two races that matter to me.
Brother, the bottom line is that the so-called Democrats, I keep saying so-called because they're not democratic, but their game has been same for a very long time, and it's called divide and conquer.
And canker when they're the nasty ones too.
Anything that they can do, all right? They want to hone in on identity politics instead of honing in on our republic. Want to hone in on something? Hone in on our republic. Make that first and foremost the most important thing for us as a people. And I say people, I'm talking about citizens, black, white, brown, red, yellow, all have pigmentation. I was listening to a program just yesterday and they said, well, people of color, everybody's a person of color.
Yeah. Yeah, what, isn't that stupid? I mean, and there are no real white people. There's Rosé.
No.
There's come on. Come on. This is outrageous. You know, when I was in the hospital, one of the nurses couldn't believe I was watching Fox News. She's losing her mind. And she found as a Trump supporter, I thought I was going to get poisoned. And I told her, I told her, do you know you look exactly like my great-great-grandmother, right? So, I'm not afraid of you. You don't move. You're not frightening to me. Um, and so she was just so mad. I mean, in fact, when I saw in the hallways, it was driving people mad. Okay, but we've got to understand who's got our back. We as citizens have to have each other's backs. What a president can do, a president is limited, but we need people's movements. The republic was established because there was a movement of patriots to become a nation. We've got to get back into the business of engagement and demand and take what it is that is ours, and stop acting like when someone gets elected that they're kings and queens, like that drunkard Nancy Pelosi, or that embarrassing tar baby Uncle Tom Clyburn. I call him Clanbird or whatever he is. Oh my God! Did you see? And she won't be missed. And you know what? The biggest problem with Maxine Waters is she doesn't have a wig for her face.
Yeah, yeah. Well, she ought to pay the family of James. I won't even go there.
Yeah.
The family of James Brown. But anyway, that's another thing. My point that I want to emphasize, and then I'm gonna get off because I'm sure there are people that want to call in, is I want to again emphasize my love and strength to the audience of the Power Hour, to the great crew of the Power Hour, to Catherine in particular of the Power Hour, all right, to the listeners who make it happen along with the crew. And I want to say, in conclusion, for now, stay strong, carry on, gird your hips, as the Bible says.
Yes.
Gird your hips. In other words, continue. Now's the time to intensify. Do not be disunited. Do not cower. Do not. Now is the time to intensify. We are up against a very demonic people. And this is not a color thing. It's way worse than that.
Oh, yes, it is.
We've got to realize if somebody's got an illness, in order to effectively deal with that illness, we must first say we have it. Then we know how to deal with it, to eradicate it, to get rid of it. So, having said that, my brother, I'm going to let you go. Much love again in the name of the late, great Joyce Riley. Much love to the audience. Much love to you, my brother. All right, I'm going to let you go. It's been great hearing your voice, and I'll continue to listen to the show. And I hope folks will get fired up or stay fired up and give some calls in to you. All right, my brother?
Yes, sir. I've got probably a minute and a half, but I want to say to everybody listening that this is Dr. Randy Short. You can always email me if I'm talking too fast and you want me to send you something. You can email me at wrandyshort@gmail.com. I repeat, wrandyshort@gmail.com. And I don't know if I could do that, but people who like me doing research, you can always reach out. There's always something that we do. As for the people on my platform, you know that I always love support. You can always help out through $ Dr. Randy Short. That's Cash App, and you know that my Gmail account is my Zelle and my PayPal. I want to thank all of my supporters listening on my network, but I want to say to the Power Hour, how sweet it is to be loved by you. Catherine, I thank you. I thought I'd never hear from anybody that says, what did I do? How did I lose them? I thought we were cool. And I stand on what I said on this network 5 years ago. Kamala Harris is the Cruella de Vil of identity politics. I warn people time and time again that she's a dangerous person. She's pushing a radical socialistic Hindu ideology. All Americans will suffer, but in particular, because of the religious connotations in Hinduism, black people who are being used as her Trojan horse to take power will be the underclass, and I want to repeat, In her religious worldview, we come out of God's rectum. That's right, we're actually human excrement. In Kamala Harris's religion, to even touch someone like us contaminates them. Wake up. And you know what? Say what you want about Christianity. You can get an abolitionist movement out of Christianity. You can get things that actually build colleges for black people out of Christianity for all of its issues. There is no comparable thing that you can get from Hinduism in 3,500 years. Go figure. And before I'll be a slave, I'll put a Hindu nominee's candidacy in its grave. Vote no against Kamala Harris. Vote no against that. Oh my God, we got callers.
It's David from Virginia.
David from Virginia. Go fast, David. I think my time's almost out. David?
Okay, what I was want to try to say later right there, around my neighborhood right there, I go to the grocery store, go out there doing any shopping anywhere. I get along with people that you just break up a conversation with, talk about the weather and everything else. Or they're all different colors and everything. We have a conversation right there. I don't know if it's just, in the big cities where they're having a big problem, or if it's,
Well, that's where the Democrats. So
that's all I want to say.
No, well, I'll just say to you, the Democrats are in control in the big cities. The Democrats get power through ethnic mobilization, not for the improvement of that group, but to organize reliable blocks of voters. They need conflict and division for power. Now, there are Republicans called Lily Whites who have hijacked the Republican Party and drove the blacks out when people were working together. We need to do everything we can to help each other as citizens. But we need to understand that some people see division as a means to getting power, and those people are a threat to all of us.
We lost, David's gone.
Okay, he said he was hanging up. So, what, we got like 2 minutes? When does this cut off?
Yeah, you got 2 minutes, 50 seconds.
Okay. I'm going to say this while I got this time before this goes off. Please, 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 in particular, calling all white Americans, all non-black Americans, to be aware of the existence of the black Boule. Boule spelled B-O-U-L-E. It is an evil, anti-democratic movement that uses the black masses for the benefit of a few, and they are anti-Republican, they're globalistic, and they're Little League partners to the globalists that would strip us all of our rights. Open your eyes. They're the ones you see on television speaking for 90% of us. When Donald Trump said black jobs, they knew what he said. They don't like the masses of people, black, who work jobs. And they tried to make Trump out to be a racist. These are the judges. These are the prosecutors. These people with an agenda separate from that of black people are representing themselves as being us and speaking for us, and they do not. The same way Kamala Harris is not a black American sister. She is a Hindu Tamil Brahmin from another group of people. They happen to be brown. Everybody's not black, and black isn't a color. As I said to you, or I didn't say to you, my ancestors, I'm a descendant of King Henry II of England. I have ancestors with slaves, Indians, Jews, all of that. Black can be of any color or complexion. How dare them inject this wicked woman, this whorish woman, into our community, and for her to bring Megan Thee Stallion twerking and doing harlotry to represent black women should let you know she doesn't respect us or America or how she presents America to the world. I'm Dr. Randy Short. You can always reach me through DrRandyShort@gmail.com. I believe I've used my time wisely, sir.
Yep, we have 40 seconds.
May the Lord bless and keep you, and may his face shine upon you. And in November, vote for Donald Trump 45 to be 47. Make us one nation with borders, with food that we can afford, and gas in our cars, and peace and no crime in the streets. God bless you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I hope that went okay. I hope that went okay.
Yep, that went fine. I appreciate it. It was good having Larry on as well.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh my, the phone is ringing. Is that people calling in?
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Okay.
They wait till the very last moment and they all try to get in.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
You have a good one.
Okay. See you. Bye bye. Hello, everybody. I'm done. I'm trying to educate white America to the Boule because black folks are too weak to deal with the thing. Everybody needs to know the scam that these people are running, and we're the big losers. It's a crime that the Boule, these people have never done anything for reparations or anything that we need, but they can get behind this Hindu whore and decide she should have power. They can raise millions. They can do all of this stuff now. But name something that we need that's legitimate for us. And these folks are more MIA than Vietnam. I want to thank you, Sister Savannah, all the moderators, Sister Brooks, Sister Haley, Sister Latoya. Yes, I have to moderate my program shaped on the audience. However, the same way people don't like programs that you do when they come and they listen for hours, you get more traffic, oftentimes dealing with people in the other community than your own. I'm not speaking about my loyalists. I'm just saying we should have black radio, but remember, some of us aren't welcome. I got in trouble for telling the truth about genocide in Africa. Since people talk about Pan-Africanism, the Boule and the other people shut me down for telling the truth about blacks being mass murdered in Libya 13 years ago and naming Obama as a culprit in it. So, you know, I stand on it. It happened. It doesn't matter. Eventually it'll come out. And maybe about 10 years from now, people say, damn, he was right. I was right years ago. I need to say to you, beware of the scam that they're running with Kamala. She's not worth a damn. Never been worth a damn. I said it. I stand on it. I don't care who doesn't like it. I'm not in this to be popular or to make friends. If I make friends because we're like-minded, thank God. If I don't, life continues. Now, I want to say to you, I'm sorry I haven't been doing as many lives. If you see this here, it's my sleeve because I have to take antibiotics because I had such dangerous bacterial infections, I believe, from the blood transfusion I got to stuff that should have killed me. I'm glad to be alive. I trust me, I don't make these medical emergencies up. Getting a transfusion, it's passive. I wouldn't have asked for blood with bad stuff in it. I think I'm mostly free of it, but needless to say, it makes me super tired. But I also want to let you know that I've had an issue with the StreamYard. So I've got to figure out how to work through it that it won't let me in. But I do want you guys to know I will be doing this. The Patriarch Summit is coming up on the 24th of August. I need everybody, men and women, share it, share it, share it. Anybody with a question when I'm doing these lives, because it's limited, this isn't very interactive. So if you try to have a conversation with me when I'm doing this, I can't really do it. Although I'm going to do some spaces in Twitter. I want everybody to know I appreciate all of what you did, all the kind words. I want to thank people like Star. You have no idea when you're sick how much stuff you have to start buying. So I have to like buy all this stuff. I've got to take this and got to take that and got to do this. I want to say to you, I appreciate your prayers, Sister Savannah and everybody. I am not going anywhere, but I dodged a bullet. I didn't even know it. And there are other things I'll be talking to you guys about. I have a cancer too I've got to deal with. I'm not afraid of that. I have some really good herbalists. One of them just called. I'm going to call them as soon as I end this call. But if you don't see me as much, it's not that I don't want to do these, but these antibiotics make you super sleepy. And I have to do it every day, once a day for about a half an hour. And then this stuff will end. But everybody, I will be doing some lives. I'm going to figure this out, even if I just go out and do it, just to keep a continuity to this. So anyway, I just want to remind you, again, I thank you. The Patriarch Summit, please, it's virtual. You don't have to travel. Share it with everybody. We would like a good, at least 50 people, and we'll work on that. And I want everybody to just do what you can do. But please, if you can, moderators, everybody else, share this Patriarch Summit link. All the information is there. We want people to show up and participate. There's more to come, and as long as I'm living, I mean, I wish I could have done more in the hospital. We're going to fight until the fight's gone. Okay, my soul's going to be fighting against bullshit. My soul's going to be fighting for MFM. My soul is going to be to wake people up. If I can't wake black people up, I'll wake white people up. I'm going to wake up somebody to dislike cooning, to dislike the Boule, to want black folks to get what they have to get. Everybody do what good you can. Help out in whichever way you can. And I'm hoping if I feel better today, there was a portion of that book on Reconstruction that I want to read to y'all. So literally, and I want to just say to y'all, I had no idea that the reason that it's been inconsistent is that there were health things. You guys, you've got to constantly check on your health, because the doctors often will not even tell you, even when you're vigilant. Things are going on with you that people won't even bring to your attention unless you raise hell for it. So again, I dodged the bullet. Maybe if I had gone to the hospital a couple of days later, I may not have made it. And this is stuff I didn't even know was going on. And I've had enough blood drawn for people to notice this stuff, and nobody did. There are other things going on. We'll get to the bottom of it. But I want to thank everybody that was on. I should be back. I'll do the best that I can to communicate with you. I'll try to get to the bottom of what's going on with StreamYard, because it's been crazy, as some of you know. You know that they bother anybody in black media gets messed with this time of year. So everything stops working, or you can't do this, or I'm going to have to buy another that. It's amazing. It truly is amazing, but hang in there. Everybody, I don't know. I need you to do me one favor. I need you to do me a favor if you can. If Latoya's on here, if there's any way, can you put the Kamala Harris article on there? Can you put the Kamala Harris thing from the Pace newspaper? If you can go to Pace News in Los Angeles. I did an article 4 years ago about Kamala Harris, an editorial. 4 years ago this month. And so, talking about that trap. So this stuff isn't new. I've been going off on Kamala Harris for 9 years. Before Kevin Sams, before all this stuff. To me, it's an ongoing struggle. Let me see if, let me stop over here. And if I don't find it now, I'll attach it to here. But if you can find the Pace News thing, let me pull it up. Let me show you guys what I have, and everybody should share this. Okay. Let me see. How do I send this? I'm going to send this to. No, I can't. I can just hold it up. See if someone can find this article. I don't know how to manipulate it, but this is an editorial I wrote 4 years ago. It's opinion, Negro Gate. It's on Pace News. It's called Kamala Harris, the Hindu, the hoax, the harlot, the hypocrite hater, and the Boule hype, and our Holocaust. Okay. If you can find it on Pace News. It's called pacenewsonline.com. pacenewsonline.com, and you'll find the article there. Thank you, Brooke. Let me stop. Anybody, you can give to the GoFundMe. We can use that for that. If you're for my Get Well committee and you want to send it, I'm Zelle and PayPal through DrRandyShort@gmail.com. If you want to write me, for example, Mr. Brian Reynolds, it's always cool. Write me. I try to write people back. And of course, if you want to Cash App, even if they're small things, because now I got to buy all of this stuff, all these tinctures and stuff for my health stuff that I can't get through my pharmacy people. So anyway, let me let you go. I'll talk to you later. All right. Love and peace. Bye-bye. Yes, Mom.